Take two. Hello, my name is Ray Salazar, and this is Morning Reel, a 3 or 4 or 100 minute or so podcast of films that I review, whether they suck, whether they put you in a portal, or where they want to, you know, bring you out alive, bring you out from the dead. And I am currently in a mushroom state of mind. I took in a mushroom. It's been with me for a couple of hours. Bobo, if you're listening, this is where I'm at, man. And I am in it. Shout out to Bobo. The film that I'm going to talk about today is called Bringing Out the Dead, directed by Martin Scorsese, written by Paul Schrader. These two go hand in hand. They're like a perfect marriage. These guys have been working together since the 60s. Imagine that. I mean, this Bringing Out the Dead came out in the late 90s, I think 99, if I'm not mistaken. So imagine like working with somebody for about 30 to 40 years now. And you look back on it, you're like, damn, we've done a lot. But these two guys have done a lot together anyways. Paul Schrader wrote a beautiful film. It's complex based on the actors that fill the pages and whatnot. Life is complicated, and Scorsese showed New York life as an EMT. Nic Cage is that EMT. And man, it's crazy. We see New York in a very shade of darkness. And there's a lot of darkness in this film. And it's weird because you don't see too much daylight in this film, except for certain scenes with Patricia Arquette's character. Yeah, usually I would dog you guys with, who directed it, who wrote it, who acted in it, who produced it. Well, man, like Nicolas Cage, Martin Scorsese, it cannot get better than that, man. It's a good combo. You don't see the crazy Cage, but he does come out in certain things. But it is allowed for him to be crazy in this film if he wasn't like allowed to be. Like the way he portrayed this EMT character and pining over a woman who almost lost her dad. It's good to see. Then again, it's your typical Cage, like you see him pine for all kinds of girls and shit. But this is a little different. It plays a part on the Bible, well, not really. It plays a part in Catholicism because Scorsese puts a lot of Catholicism into his films, like imagery, a lot of values, certain values, and think about Scorsese as well is his main shtick is identity, the loss of identity or questioning identity, questioning your own life and all that stuff. And Nicolas Cage does that in this film. He does it pretty good. The characters around him who support him do a great job being who they are. Some of them are crazy, some of them are not. They all have complexities. And this, like I said, Schrader did a great job writing these characters, did a great job how these characters handle these situations. And it's crazy because this shit's make believe, this shit's fictitious. I'm pretty sure, like, when you look at this film, like what you see, I'm pretty sure some people go through that shit, EMT workers are no joke. They go through shit, man. They go through all kinds of shit that they don't even want to do, period. But they do it because, I don't know. For the sake of Nic Cage, his character is redemption. That's what the film is about for him, redemption. If there's any plot to this film, this is it. It's redemption. He tried to help out this homeless girl and he couldn't do it. He couldn't make it work. And he knows that he could have, and it's been killing him for God knows how long. But he sees that girl's face in almost every person that he sees, like every other like call that he gets, the person that he sees, sometimes it's that girl. And like, fuck, man, like that would put anybody fucking crazy, man. Or that would put anybody into a crazy state of mind. Shoot, I know it would to me, especially on a mushroom. Like, imagine Nic Cage being in a mushroom, or his character being in a mushroom state of mind. Like, God, like he would never recover from that. He does get his fulfillment. He does get what he wants. He, in a way, he does save people. It's crazy. Like throughout this whole film, because it takes 3 days into his life, or 3 nights rather. But I think it's days. Yeah, days. And he goes to these calls and he brings people in. What do you do? What do you call that? I mean, you kind of save somebody, you know? We don't think about it. He doesn't think about it, maybe. Not to that extreme, but he does save people. The only time that he can actually redeem himself, that saving somebody actually like really saved somebody is the Patricia Arquette character, Mary, you know. His dad had a heart attack or a stroke, and you know, the dad wants to go out, man. He wants to get out of this life, you know, and it's crazy how Nic Cage, because it's from his perspective, he really thinks that this guy is talking to him. The dad, who is in a comatose state of mind, is telling him, "Hey, man, like pull the plug, man," and he does it. And the only reason why he does it, it's because, I mean, realistically, man, like he just wants to get with that girl, man. He really wants to get with that girl. He wants. I mean, he cares about her. He does care about her. It just shows in the film that he cares about her, and she cares about him too, in some sort of weird way. But it's crazy. Like he goes through all this trouble for a woman who doesn't even know if she really gives a shit about him or not. She really gives a shit more about her dad, who doesn't really give shit about her. See how complex that is? See how crazy that sounds? But that's what's going on. And Cage is like, nope, well, this is going to happen. You know, this is going to work. Does it work? We are led to believe that it is possible. We don't see it. I mean, we see what's going on, right? We see what happens at the end of the film. I give this film a 3.5 out of 4 stars. And the reason being is because there's really no central plot to this film. There's no exact needs or wants from these characters. The characters themselves, like, you know, answering these calls and all that stuff is what pushes the film, but it doesn't really push the plot. But it does call into question as to what motivates you. Either way, I mean, that's my take on it. Rate and review this podcast, rate and review this episode or whatever. You can send your submissions for me to review at officialmorningreel@gmail.com. Follow me, Morning Shot Films, at IG, YouTube, and wherever you listen to this podcast, such as Google Play, iHeart. I am on Apple Podcasts as well. I am not on Spotify. I am not sure what I'm going to review for next week, but you know, I'm going to look into my submissions and see what's up. I'm sure there's a lot of good things. Well, I know there's a lot of good things. I'm going to get to them. I'm going to do it. I want to make people happy because they always hit me up, and that means a lot to me. Shout out to you guys who listen to this, you know, who always give me suggestions or whatnot. It means a lot. I love film. Believe me, man. I'll watch a movie and I'll watch it again for the lighting, and I'll watch it again for the writing. I'll watch it again for the cuts. I'll watch it again for all that shit in between. Thank you.